right, hello guys, and welcome back. So hey, this is the next video, and we're going to talk about IPv4. So let's get started. There's a lot in here. So it's an undeniable fact that the internet has an important place in people's lives. You must be on and off the internet during the day, but you definitely use the internet for your needs, more than just for browsing. But did you know how the internet is provided? You type the name or the address into your browser. The address that you want is presented to you. The technology that enables this is called IPv4. Let's learn what it is in IPv4 detail. What is IPv4? Internet Protocol, or IP, is the basic technology that enables devices to connect to the internet. It allows devices used on the internet to send messages and data to each other. When you want to connect to the internet, devices such as computers, laptops, mobile phones, tablets, this technology assigns a numerical IP address. IP addresses are vital for the internet infrastructure. Information flow between computers cannot be provided without IP addresses. IPv4 is version 4 of the Internet Protocol. It's been in use since 1983, and it's the version used by devices that connect to the internet. This version gives a private IP address for each device that will access the internet. If your home address shows where you live, the IP address shows what device you are using. What are IPv4 DNS servers? Those who have a little knowledge of computers and the internet often have heard of the concept of IPv4 DNS. DNS, or Domain Name System, is a system that translates and redirects site names to real IP addresses. Thanks to this system, you can browse the internet quickly and comfortably. A DNS server is a computer server with a database of site names to IP addresses. Most DNS servers are owned by internet service providers. They just open the servers to their customers. However, there are free servers available. For example, Google's preferred DNS server, which is the most used internet search engine, is 8.8.8.8. And the other DNS server is 8.8.4.4. So how does IPv4 work? IPv4 consists of 32 bits, so it consists of 4 numbers of 8 bits. The numbers that will create the IP address vary between 0 and 255. So it generates 2 to the 32nd, that's 4,294,967,296 possible odd addresses. This possibility assigns each user an IP address between the numbers 0.0.0.0 and 255.255.255.255. Examples of IPv4 addresses. IP classes consist of 4 types of addresses: A, B, C, D, and E. For now, let's briefly look at these classes. Class A address is designed for large networks with many users. We can give an example of 49.19.22.156 IPv4. Class B address, first 2 octets are used to define the network. The other 2 octets are used to address users. All addresses between 128 and 191 are Class B. 160.75.10.110 is an example of a Class B IP address. The Class C address, the first 3 octets are used to identify the network. The last octet is used to address users. All addresses between 192 and 223 are Class C. 192.168.10.105 is an example of a Class C IP address. Class D addresses are IP addresses that are used for multicast. All addresses between 224 and 239 are Class D. For instance, we can give the IP address 224.0.0.0 through 39.255.255.255. Class E addresses are not used on the Internet. It has been stored for research and future use. 240.0.0.0 through 254.255.255.254 is an E-class IP address. So how to learn IPv4? If you're doing extensive information exchange on the Internet, how will you learn IPv4? Because it'll interest you. There are two ways to find out your IP address. The first is to find an IPv4 address with a CMD command, and the second would be to find it through the control panel. Using one of these two ways, you can find out your own IPv4 address. You can even learn your MAC or physical address and the DNS server as well as your IP address. How to find your IPv4 address. You open the Start or Run command from the taskbar to learn the IPv4 address connected to your computer. Type CMD in the search bar that appears on the screen. A black screen will appear in front of you. In the bottom line, type ipconfig into the command that says c/users/believe/ and enter. This part may vary depending on the name and the language of your computer. The Windows IP configuration page appears on the screen. The IPv4 address under the Ethernet adapter LAN connection line is your IP number. If you want to know your IP address from Control Panel, follow Control Panel to Network and Internet, to Network and Sharing Center, to Connections, to Details. You will see all the information about the IP. So why do you configure IPv4 settings? When you access the Internet with your device, IPv4 automatically provides you with an IP address. You do not take any action for it. If you're using the Internet effectively, if you are doing international transactions, if you want to use a secure IP address, IPv4 settings will be important for you. If you are on the Internet with a corporate identity, it is important that you have a private IP address. Otherwise, you will have to use a shared address like other users. Along with the IP address, the system automatically assigns you DNS servers. But since these automatically assigned servers do not recognize some sites, you cannot log in. You can change the DNS servers that allow you to enter these sites, IPv4 DNS server. Well, that's the lesson. And now you've learned what an IPv4 address is, how you can learn your own, and maybe how to configure it. So I hope you learned a lot, because we're going to build on that in the next one.